concept of arranged marriages.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's so common in India, even in today's time. In some regions, love marriages, like the normal marriages that you have, are frowned upon. It's like,
Ourselves will be like, oh no, someone asked me a difficult question. ChatGPT, someone asked
like
me,
when you were talking about serious topics, I was like, she's really pretty.
nice to meet you. Is your name, is it Niyati? Niyati?
Yes, it's Niyati.
Niyati,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. So how's your morning going?
It's going well, actually. I woke up early. I was actually teaching this morning,
Okay.
and and then I went to get a coffee, and my best friend just called me, and she said, Amy, you need to go to the gym. And I was like, oh, I don't want to. It's so cold. And she said, no, you need to go. So, because we're trying to motivate each other to
Yeah.
exercise. So after this, I will go to the gym.
Okay, so you guys are like gym buddies. You go together?
We not really. We are like she lives in London. I'm in
Okay.
Cambridge. So, but yeah, we're trying to go to the gym to get like we're trying to like help each other on our
Right.
journey.
So Amy, as you're on my channel for the first time, would you mind giving your brief introduction for the audience?
Sure. Well, I'm happy to be here. First of all, thank you for asking me. And I checked your videos out, and they've got some really lovely conversations, and your comments are really supportive as well, which is really lovely. So first of all, my name's Amy. I'm 29 years old. I am from the UK. I'm from the east of the UK. So I'm from a
Hmm.
county called Norfolk. So I'm actually from the countryside. So I went to university in London. I studied history. Then I moved to Vietnam, and that's when I started teaching English. I was 22, so I was like young and, wanted an adventure. So I lived in Vietnam for almost 3 years. I came back and I was a little bit lost in
Hmm.
England because I experienced like a different culture, came back, and then that's when I started my Instagram and YouTube and everything. So that became like I don't know, like I found myself more with my channel and my videos. And now, yeah, I want to be like a full-time content creator. I'm also inspired by you. I would love to also put more time into YouTube and keep going with that. Yeah, I'm a really creative person, and I love meeting people. I love traveling. I love different cultures. So, yeah, this is like the perfect thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the best part of what I do is I get to interact with people all across the globe. How cool is that? Because I've always loved that. I've always loved discussing food, culture, just anything in general. And so I'm just really happy with what I do. And also, I think, I mean, everybody should kind of have something, some sort of creative hobby. Because, like, um, some people's creative side kind of like dies out when they stop doing these things and they don't even realize. So, are you also planning on posting long form videos on YouTube?
Definitely, yes. To be honest, I was a bit scared of long form videos. I think I felt so comfortable with the short form
Yeah.
videos. But I did recently, yeah, I have made a video, but I'm editing it right now. And yeah, it's a bit more challenging, but definitely and I'd love to show people like more of the UK. I'd love to open them up to, yeah, like villages that people don't go to, or like stories that people don't know. Yeah, that would be really cool, I think.
Yeah, so it's kind of like vlogging plus also teaching English in the same video kind of an idea.
I think so, yeah. And I think
Yeah.
to be honest, I want to just experiment. So, you know, maybe I'll enjoy one part of content. Maybe I'll do more videos like you do, more like interview style. Who knows? But I think it's good to just try something.
Did you kind of always have this feeling that you wanted to become an English teacher someday?
To be honest, no. I think people would always say to me, they would say, "Oh, you'd make a great teacher. You'd be a great teacher." And I love, when I was younger, I did lots of performing, lots of acting. And I think when you're a teacher, you are kind of performing. I
Yeah.
think, you especially if you have a class. So I think that's kind of that's how I kind of got into teaching, and also living in Vietnam got me, yeah, more. Obviously, I needed a job, so teaching was the best thing. And to be honest, yeah, I loved it. It was like it's an amazing thing, and through English teaching, oh my God, my life's changed. I've met so many people. I'm learning as well. It's a really good job to have. And I always say, yes, okay, I teach English, but I also teach history and science and politics. There's so many subjects that you can discuss, or you need to make it interesting. So yeah, it's not just English.
Well, okay, so I'm not a teacher, but I sometimes like think about it like, what if I were? I mean, I don't really have any sort of teaching experience, but like when I was in high school, so we had this tradition kind of a thing that whenever it's Teachers' Day, the high school students are going to be teaching younger kids. So for my school, we had like three buildings. One was like junior block, one was middle block, and the third was senior block. And I had studied in the same school like throughout my school life. So um, a few kids would volunteer to teach the younger kids. So I volunteered. And but I was like, okay, I mean, which section do I teach? And the teacher gave me the specific section. She was like, go to third E. And I was like, wait a minute, that's exactly the classroom that I studied in. So I went there, but I was like, okay, but there's no way that the class teacher would be the same, right? But she was, and she recognized me in an instant. And like I was really happy that day. And so she went away. And then I had to teach these 40 students that were staring at me. It was very, very intimidating. But I mean, I just had to choose one subject. So I chose mathematics because, like, that's one of my favorite subjects, the one that I'm most comfortable with. And so I taught those kids division. So, but no, I was like, when I was growing up, I always liked the cool teachers that were like friendly, more like friends than teachers. So I tried to be that kind of a person that day for those kids. So yeah, we played games and I taught them mathematics. It was such a great experience. And that day I thought, what if I do become a teacher? But then I just went into engineering stream, which is weird, but yeah.
Wow, I mean, but it's really good that you got that experience, because I think ev everyone should teach at some point, even if it's just for one class, even if it's
Yeah.
just because you have a greater appreciation for your teachers. Like looking at those students, maybe you realized, oh my goodness, my teachers at high school, they did the same thing. How did they do this? You do appreciate it more. And yeah, good for you. You tried something, and you did something that was challenging. So
Yeah.
it's a good lesson.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, so when you went to Vietnam, did you experience any sort of cultural shocks?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, Vietnam is a very different country than the
Yeah.
UK. Um, Obviously, Vietnam is less developed than the UK. Um, and I think, yeah, they say you go through like this. It's kind of a roller coaster. When you first get there, when I first got to Vietnam, you feel so excited and you're like, oh my gosh, look at this, it's amazing. Wow. And then after you live there for maybe a few months, you then start to go, oh my gosh, oh, this is very different. Oh, this is very different.
Yeah.
I think, for example, it was simple things like the post office. Oh my goodness, I remember they said, Amy, your parcel is here. And then it wasn't there, and I had to go to a different post office, and I had to go to a, so all of those kind of that was quite difficult. And even things like I remember I had to have a health check, and I went to this Vietnamese hospital, and it was very different to an English hospital. And I just remember thinking like there was loads and loads of people, and so I don't know, there was, and obviously I think the smells, like some of the food was quite, the smells of the food I hadn't smelt before. So, and then I got used to it. And also Vietnamese people, they are very, I think they're non-confrontational. So
Yeah.
they don't want conflict, and they want to just like resolve things, or continue on with their day. So I think sometimes that shocked me, like the yeah, that side of things. But yeah, I think I adapted really well. There weren't so many things that I was shocked by, but the one thing I remember now was the animals. I do remember being shocked. I was like, there's so many cats on the street. And I just wanted to take all of the cats and the dogs with me. Like it was, I do
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, stray dogs and cats are pretty common over here as well. Even cows. I mean, if I would go outside right now, I would probably spot like one or two cows. This is something that I actually like about my, like, what do I call it? But like I live in a suburban area, which is kind of like a little bit away from all the hustle and bustle, which I prefer a lot. So we do have stray animals a lot more than the main city. But I have no complaints. I love that. Um, okay, so if I were to ask you like any sort of facts that would kind of surprise a non-Britisher about British people.
Oh, yeah. Let me think. Like a non. I don't know if this is shocking, but we're not very direct people, so we
Hmm.
don't really say what we think all the time, which for some cultures is a little bit different. So for example, if we were in like a business meeting, and you said to me, I don't know, you said, I want to make shoes out of grass, and I would go, wow. Yeah, Niyati. Interesting idea. That is a very creative idea. However, maybe we can think about it. I wouldn't, but inside I'd be thinking, I don't really think that idea would work.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be so polite about it. Um, and I'm trying to think anything else. Anything. I'm trying to think of the stereotypes. I guess.
Hmm.
Okay, well, we don't all talk like the Queen, and the accents change from like every each, even if you drive 30 minutes, there'll be a different accent. Yeah, so that is the shocking thing about the UK. And yeah, I don't really know. I'm trying to think if there's anything. Okay, our food isn't that bad. We do have some really good options. We've got some really good cakes, I think. Maybe
Hmm.
people don't know about that, but yeah, probably some other things. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any stereotypes about the UK? Like when you think about the UK, what do you think about?
I mean, it's always about the food, that the food is really bland. I have talked to one or two British people, and they highly emphasize on the fact that their food is not great. And probably it's their taste buds as well. Those two, they love spicy food, so they preferred Indian food over British food. Maybe that's why they were saying that.
But also, you're right, the food is definitely like more bland. And obviously, our history, we went to India and we were like, oh my God, look at these spices. We we like this. So yeah, I think, yeah, our food is very bland. But it's also, it's not. I would say it's like it's simple, but like it can, but effective. Like it
Yeah.
can be really delicious, and I think the history is important. Like we didn't have that many. We couldn't grow that many things. We could probably carrots, broccoli, and I guess we had some cows and other things that we could eat, but I think it's important to know a little bit about the history before we, I guess, judge. Because and for a lot of history, a lot of British people, they were very poor, so they didn't have many things to cook with. So that's why I
Hmm.
think everything's a little bit more simpler, probably.
Yeah. But these facts are not as surprising as the ones I'm going to tell you about India.
Mm-hmm.
One that comes to my mind is that you must have heard of the concept of arranged marriages,
Oh
like
yeah,
where your
yeah.
parents set you up. It's so common in India, even in today's time. Like in some regions, love marriages, like the normal marriages that you have, are frowned upon. It's like how dare you do that? Because we have caste system over here, and so the parents prefer that the children get married in the same caste.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole weird thing, so it's still very common, which I didn't know, that people didn't know, because I was talking to one of my friends from the US, and she was like, oh well, at least you don't have that concept anymore. And I was like, breaking news, I mean, that still exists. And she was really, really surprised. So yeah, that exists, which is probably very shocking for you. Like, that's kind of unfortunate now that I think of it, that a lot of people are not able to choose their own partners here.
Mm, that it's hard, isn't it? I guess being the younger generation maybe, and you're exposed to a lot more.
Yeah.
And it's I think, I mean, I watched on Netflix, I think it's called Indian Matchmaker, or
Okay, I
it
have.
was like a, oh my goodness, it was very interesting. Maybe I'll find it for you. But they were kind of trying to do these like arranged marriages, with like an Indian matchmaker, and but it was like people like in the Indian community in the UK or the Indian community in Canada. And they did go on a couple of dates before, but yeah, she was trying to match them. And what I learned from that TV show is like the criteria is so much. It's like, okay, they need to be a doctor, they need to be in this caste, they need to have this religion, they need to have, it was a long list. And some people, the matchmaker would say, look, I can try to find that person, but you know, it's difficult to
Yeah.
find the perfect one. Um, yeah, I think what I understand is like for the family, they want the best person for their child, and but also, the child, they're gonna
Yeah.
marry this person, so they can't. What if they don't know the person very well, then they get married and they're just really unhappy? Yeah, so I don't know. There's two sides to it. Um, yeah, obviously I'm not part of the Indian community, so I can't really, say if it's right or wrong. But yeah, it's an interesting idea, I think.
Yeah, no, it's definitely wrong. I mean, it's so scary if you think about it. Imagine getting married to a stranger that you're probably not even compatible with, your hobbies don't match, your goals don't align. That's so scary. Like, but like, thankfully, my parents are very open. They don't mind at all. But like, yeah, today's generation, especially Gen Zs, they are speaking about it, and they are
Mm.
much more open, outspoken. They're like, we would marry the person that we want to. Like, this should be the normal. So yeah, I'm really glad that they are standing up for themselves.
And that's important because if more people stand up for themselves, it will change. Because, I mean, I'm sure it was the same in the UK not that long ago, maybe 150 years ago or something. We probably had a similar thing. And marriage was more of like a business deal,
Yeah.
you but times change. And yeah, if my family said to me, Okay, Amy, we found this because I'm 29, I'm single, like I'm 30 this year. So for some people they'd be like, "Well, Amy, it's time, where's your husband?" But yeah, if they said to me, "Okay, we found this lovely man," I'd be like, "Right, okay, fine, I'll meet him." But I wouldn't like I'd be very shocked. I'd be like, "No, it's my choice.
Yeah.
This is my life." Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. It
Mhm.
would be weird. Could you teach me a British slang that is very commonly used among Britishers?
Okay, okay. So British people. Someone asked me this not that long ago. A word that we use a lot, we say knackered.
How's it spelled?
Okay, I can write it like this, knackered.
Knackered. Okay. What is it? What does it mean?
It just means exhausted. Like, oh,
Okay.
I'm knackered. I'm so knackered. Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
so knackered. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm hearing this one for the first time. But no, that's interesting. Now I'm going to start using this one.
Yeah, yeah. Try it with British people. I think Americans would be like, "What are you saying?" But yeah, British people would be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm knackered." Yeah. But I think knackered is more like I think casual. I think you
Hmm.
would use it with your friends or like, like things like that. I think
Yeah.
maybe like some older people don't like it. They think it's like
Okay.
too, yeah, but they would understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, okay, so I saw your IG story yesterday where I think you were talking about how you used to read so much as a kid, but now you
Mhm.
probably don't because of social media or phones or AI. So, like, I relate to that so much because I also used to read so much fictional books mostly when I was like 13 or 14. I used to read Agatha Christie, and there are like a couple more, um, usually like suspense thriller genres. But I miss that side of me so much. Like when I saw your story, I was like, yeah, but I do read. And I was like, wait a minute. What was the last time I actually read a book? I mean, I do read some books here and there, but like not the amount of books I used to read as a teenager. That was pretty concerning. So what about you? Have you read any book recently?
Well, first of all, I agree with you so much. I was the same as you. When I was a teenager, I was reading so much. And then, yeah, I think because of, yeah, social media or just, I don't know, life in some ways, you do just like you fall off or reading is you rely on YouTube. Actually, no, YouTube is great. But you sometimes we rely so much on TikTok or like the things to entertain us, and I think we need to go back to reading because I feel like even I can't imagine things anymore. Like I
Yeah,
can, but I think I want my imagination to grow. So I think this year I'm definitely going to try and like be off my phone more, spend more time actually reading because I don't want us to have a culture in the future where no
yeah,
one's reading, no one, and reading is good for like reading allows us to think about other people's views, opinions, and if we're just watching short content or, like if you go on TikTok and you scroll for 10 minutes, tell me about one video. Like you can't. You
yeah.
forget what you watched. It's so like repetitive sometimes, but you remember a really good book that you read when you were 15. You remember that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, I think a book that I've read recently. Oh, I'm reading a lot of because I'm trying to I've been reading a lot of self-help books.
Hmm.
So like and some like spiritual books because I'm not I'm not hugely religious, but I do believe like I do think, we need to be kind to people, and I believe in
Yeah.
karma, I believe in all of this. And yeah, I was reading, oh my gosh, where's my book? Oh yeah, the power of now. The power of
Okay.
now. Yeah. I think it's by Eckhart Tolle. Maybe I'm saying his name wrong, but it's a really great book. Wait, I need to get it. I think it's like next to me. Yeah, Eckhart. Wait, this is his name. Eckhart Tolle. Yeah, he's like I guess he's like a philosopher, but like a kind of a teacher, spiritual teacher as well. And
Hmm.
his book is very, very famous. And lots of people said, "Oh, you need to read this book. It's quite life-changing." And it's basically about being present and also dealing with life's problems in more of a calmer way. And it really helped me because I was quite emotional last year and
Hmm.
I just needed to calm down. Kind of, I needed to deal with life in more of a, yeah, calm way. So I started reading that, and honestly, it's really helped me. The lessons are really, yeah, beneficial, I think.
Yeah, I would actually take a note of that and I will read this because um okay, so I don't have a phone addiction, but like sometimes some days I'm just like so bored and just want to do something, and I just end up scrolling on Instagram for hours and hours. And then I am so gloomy for for the next few days because I was scrolling so much. So I also started listening actually on listening to two books on Audible. I cannot remember the name, but they are mostly about like that detox kind of a thing, to just keep your phones away. But I think for us, it's very difficult to keep our phones away because our job or work is so much related to content creation that your, I mean, your entire work is on the internet. But like I still try to do that sometimes, like just keep my phone away. And there's some concept of brain rewiring, when you just don't use your phone or internet for a few days. I try to do that. I mean, I've never done that, but I'm going to try to do that because I'm reading those two books, and I'm also going to be reading this book that you suggested.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you. Honestly, yeah, I mean, I really recommend it. I think everyone should read it. I think it reminds us it keeps us more, I think it reminded me of what life should be. We
yeah,
should be making more connections with people. We should be serving other people as well as ourselves. And in this world of, hustle culture where people are
yeah,
yeah, focused on themselves or um, and maybe I would say selfish. I think it's very important to have a community and yeah, not be so selfish because if everybody's like that, the world will not be a good place. And I think,
yeah,
unfortunately, some parts of social media or, TV sometimes can influence us in a negative way. So,
yeah.
yeah, you're right. I think I mean, you said that you don't have a phone addiction. But I think we all have a phone addiction. I think we
Hmm.
all do. And
Yeah,
in some way, like if you're bored, I'm going on my phone. And that's an addiction. So I think, yeah, we need to, slowly just say, okay, not now, or I'm going to go for a walk with no music, nothing, and just look at the trees and breathe because we will just become robots.
yeah.
That's yeah, that's my fear. Yeah.
No, wait, that is so right because so I rely for a lot of things on ChatGPT, which is okay up to some extent. But I think it was yesterday or day before, which I was making a real life decision, like something, and for that I went to ChatGPT. I was like, "Hey, what do you think I should do?" And I was like, "Wait a minute, why am I asking an AI about that? That the kind of decision that I should come up with, which was which made me feel like, okay, this is genuinely very scary. It's probably taking over our brains without us even realizing about that.
Absolutely. And I have had the same thoughts that you've had. I use it a lot to plan my classes, which is incredible. Or yeah, for content or maybe I don't know, keywords or something,
Yeah.
which is an amazing way to use it. But yeah, if we're relying on it too much, yeah, we will just become like we won't be able to think for ourselves. We'll be like, oh no, someone asked me a difficult question. ChatGPT, someone asked me, and that's not, yeah, that's
Yeah.
we will then just become so reliant on technology when look, we human beings have, I don't know, gone to the moon with their own brains. They've come up with we've been able to fly planes with, using our brains. Yeah, we need to value ourselves more and yeah, we need to protest.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I think our generation is probably the first one to realize that this is wrong. Like something is wrong, but yet we are still kind of not able to stop it completely. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
sure, we can like talk about it online, but most of the people don't realize how serious this is. And like, the only action that I've heard of is being taken is, I think, in Australia, where 16, if you're 16 or younger, you're not allowed on social media. Kids over there
Mm-hmm.
are protesting a lot, but I feel like I don't want to sound like a grandma, but I think this is a good decision.
I'm with you. I agree because social media is no place for children. That's what I think. And I think, I mean, I'm 29 now, so I remember when I was 16, Instagram came out. And that was obviously
Okay.
not the Instagram we know now. So I remember just people were posting pictures of their food and I don't know, just anything. But yeah, you really don't need social media, and there's a lot of cyberbullying that can happen online, and also children can be exposed to things that they don't need to be exposed to,
Yeah.
they don't need to see. So I agree with you.
Yeah. Um, okay, so I think I asked all the questions I wanted to, and we are also running out of time because I'm on Zoom free. But yeah, no, it was so lovely connecting with you, Amy. And I mean, off the topic, like when you were talking about serious topics, I was like, she's really pretty.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Well, don't worry, you too. You too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. No, but I genuinely enjoyed the conversation so much. Thank you so much for connecting.
No, thank you. And honestly, anytime, if there's another video that you want to make, I'm here. So yeah, we can
Yeah,
we can still be in touch.
yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Okay, so have a great morning. Great,
Yes, what
what
time is
time
it
is it?
now? Oh yeah, it's
Okay,
11:38. So yeah, I'll go to the gym now, even though I
okay,
want to, but I'll go. And thank you so much.
okay. Bye, Amy. Have a great day.
Bye. See you. Bye bye.